The headline shocking. 60 years old Lauren Holly's G-string pics bare all, jaw-dropping AF, is designed to stop people mid-scroll. It promises surprise, controversy, and a reaction. But when you look past the noise, the real story of Lauren Holly isn't about shock. It's about confidence, longevity, and the power of owning your image in an industry that rarely gives women that freedom, especially as they age. Lauren Holly has been a familiar face in film and television for decades. From romantic comedies to intense dramas and long-running TV roles, she built a career defined by versatility and presence. Audiences didn't just recognize her beauty. They remembered her charisma, timing, and the ease with which she commanded the screen. Yet, as with many actresses, public attention often shifted from her work to her appearance, especially as time passed. That's where the conversation becomes interesting. When images of a confident, mature woman surface, headlines rush to frame them as shocking or too much. But why should confidence at 60 be treated as a surprise? Lauren Holly didn't suddenly become bold. She simply continued being herself in a culture that prefers women to fade quietly after a certain age. Her refusal to do so is what truly catches people off guard. What's labeled as bare all is often just a woman being comfortable in her own skin. There's a difference between seeking attention and expressing self-assurance, and Lauren Holly's public presence leans toward the latter. She isn't trying to compete with younger generations or rewrite her past. She's standing firmly in the present, unapologetic about where she is in life. That kind of self-acceptance can be far more unsettling to critics than any image ever could be. The phrase jaw-dropping says more about societal expectations than it does about Lauren Holly herself. We are conditioned to associate confidence, glamour, and bold style with youth. When someone breaks that rule, the reaction is immediate and loud. But perhaps the real shock is realizing how outdated those expectations are. Lauren Holly challenges the idea that beauty has an expiration date, and that challenge makes people uncomfortable in the best possible way. It's also worth noting that Lauren's career has never depended on controversy. She didn't build her name on shock tactics or fleeting trends. She built it on consistency, professionalism, and talent. So when headlines try to reduce her to a moment or an image, they overlook the decades of work that came before it. Her legacy isn't defined by a single snapshot. It's defined by years of dedication to her craft. There's something quietly powerful about a woman who doesn't explain herself. Lauren Holly doesn't owe the public reassurance, apologies, or justifications. She exists as she is, and that authenticity resonates more deeply than any sensational caption. In a world obsessed with youth filters and perfection, real confidence stands out sharply, and that's why it gets labeled as shocking. Ultimately, the reaction to Lauren Holly says more about us than it does about her. We're still learning how to process women who age with confidence instead of fear. We are still adjusting to the idea that visibility doesn't have to decrease with time. Lauren Holly's presence reminds us that self-expression doesn't end at a certain number. It evolves. So if people are left stunned, it's not because Lauren Holly crossed a line. It's because she erased one. She showed that confidence has no age limit, that grace and boldness can coexist, and that being comfortable in your own skin is nothing to apologize for. And in today's world, that kind of message truly is jaw-dropping.